Just about ready to roll here. And today's starter, Satchel Paige. And Singy, he's one of the most dominant arms in all of baseball.
Well, I'm interested to see how he utilizes his sinker to this lineup, Boog. You know, it's not necessarily his go-to primary pitch, but he does mix it in when he needs it. He's just got to.
Bottom of the first, and stepping in is the speedy Jackie Robinson. The pitch. In the air, foul off first. They get the out on Robinson. And there's one away.
Batting second, the center fielder.
Now it's the switch hitting outfielder, Mickey Mantle. Year in and year out, this guy an MVP candidate. Swing and a ball popped up. Morgan moving under it. And puts the squeeze on it. That's out number 2.
Boy, that was a hanging breaking ball right there. I think he tried to do a little bit too much. Sometimes those eyes can get really big. I think his swing broke down as well, and that's what caused him to pop it up.
And that one is lifted in the air. Stretches out and hauls it in. First frame of the night behind us, and it's 0-0. New inning getting started, and here's the first baseman, Eddie Murray.
Eddie Murray.
And takes low for ball 1.
1-0.
There's the strike.
Cold night like tonight, last thing you want to do as a hitter is get jammed or even off the end. Trying to find that sweet spot on the bat. Tell you what, you're going to be trying to catch things out front, so off-speed pitches may be a good complement to that fastball.
And welcome back. Bottom of the inning, and now Hank Aaron. The wind of the pitch. Right side. Gwynn hauls it in, and there's one away. Next to hit, Lou Gehrig.
Kind of a throwback. No batting gloves.
First offering misses the mark. And Gehrig hit cleanup for that famed Murderers Row lineup as the Yankees were rolling off one World Series title after another. And that one wrapped foul.
Gehrig hit behind Babe Ruth in those Murderers Row days. They both have tons of power, but their home runs had much different trajectories.
Next offering upstairs.
While Ruth hit these high towering fly balls out of the park, Gehrig just crushes line drives into the stands. I mean, he hit absolute bullets.
Next pitch, not close, up high. In the air to left center. Henderson on the move. Makes the grab, 2 down.
This lineup's going to have to find a way to make him work a little harder out there on the mound. I mean, he is just mowing them down. He's settling in. You got to make him uncomfortable. Maybe step out of the box, call timeout, do whatever it takes.
Ernie Banks. Now at the plate as he swings through strike 1. Comes up empty on the swing, 0-2 now. In the dirt. Tosses to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. No run. On to the 3rd inning, digging in, Mike Schmidt. Pitch is in for a strike. 0-1. Schmidt, 30 years old now. Can't forget to mention he's a former MVP. Foul ball there. The 0-2 pitch from Satchel. Fights it off. He'll see another.
Some real good life going through the zone on that one.
Next offering misses. Back here at the ballpark, now the left fielder, Ralph Kiner. Seaver back to work. Popped up right side. No trouble here. Puts it away for the out. And there's one down. Stepping in, Johnny Bench. This guy is one of the best athletes in the sport. And a big swing and a miss.
I think if you ask most baseball fans, their vote for greatest catcher of all time would be this man right here, Johnny Bench.
And it's even up. If Bench isn't the greatest of all time, he's on a very short list. Rookie of the Year, two-time MVP, 10 Gold Gloves. What didn't he do? And strike two.
And I'll tell you something else about Bench. He was at the heart of one of the greatest teams of all time, that Big Red Machine, and he deserves a lot of credit for their success.
Stays alive. And the right-hander deals. Upstairs.
He really committed to that fastball up at the top of the zone. He knows that if he makes a mistake in the zone, it gets hit hard by a power guy like this. That's a nice miss right there.
Foul ball, and it remains a full count. Next offering is fouled back. Ninth pitch of the at-bat due next. High fly ball lifted in the air right field. Puts the squeeze on that one. Out number 2.
I ain't feeling away. I came far from accepting defeat. Made it out with the blood on my face. We done shed every tear we can weep. Watch them wearing they heart in they sleeve. Don't even come out the fleas. Don't even pay no mind. Cause I'm dressing that the supreme.
Max, I have done. I don't know if you saw the stream from yesterday, but it's never going to be as on point. But I will say this. By the way, happy Thanksgiving. This is a bonus stream, Thanksgiving stream. Come in, say hello if you wish, you want to. Welcome anyone and everyone who wishes to join. So, I have done multiple versions of this. I went over it yesterday, my whole entire story. Like, I began this in September. Then Jim Brooks Robinson passed away, and I devoted myself to making sure that this version, this stadium gets done and gets done right for his memory. As an Orioles fan, and I got so caught up with the playoffs of the Orioles, and then Ravens season kicked in, and then I transplanted from Xbox back to PS5 because the controller's a little wonky with it, and I need to get probably a new controller or so. So I have started to research everything, Max, and I realized that, like, I have been using so much of the resources to build this thing, and I haven't built it right. And I was talking about how, like, Memorial Stadium does this weird type of, I sound weird when I say this stuff, but it's almost like when you want to build this ballpark, and I notice a lot of ballparks are like this, it's almost as if, I met him one time. He was one of the best athletes I've ever met. I think he was one of the nicest men that that this city had and needed at the time. So, you know, I just wish this year was the year they won the World Series. I really do. I don't know what the Angelos family is going to do and everything in between, but that's a different conversation for another day. But I feel like there's a type of spiritual energy that is with doing something when you want to. And I know a lot of actors talk about this when they become what's it called? When they become an actor, when they portray a historical person, they kind of channel them. I don't know if it's proven correctly. I don't know what it is, but that's what it feels like. And I feel like when you want to build this ballpark here, you kind of channel the energy of it. You channel what people felt when they were building it. You channel the spirit of the stadium itself, which is weird. It's just mortar and concrete. But I started out, and this is weird, when you build this stadium, you can't build this stadium, and I made this mistake this year. I probably won't make it next year. Fate be willing. I made this mistake where when you build this stadium, you build it the upper deck, you build the bottom, you build the outside. And it's not the right way. So I've done extensive research. I've used archive footage. I have used archive footage. I have used photos and everything. I've even gone to the Baltimore archives, the Maryland archives, and requested the original blueprint, 1949 blueprint, the ideas and stuff that was going to be built from this. And I just went to town with that. I got it this week. And so I realized that the only way to build this ballpark, there's only one way to build this ballpark, if you're serious about it, if you're willing to devote yourself to it, is you have to build it the way that it was built in real life. That's it. You have to start with the single level ballpark, and you have to make sure that everything is succinct, everything is symmetrical, everything is to the point from behind the home plate, and doing behind the plate and everything outward. Now, I haven't gotten the outfield dimensions done correctly yet. I will get that shortly. But I feel like that's the only way to build this thing. And I'm going to explain why. When you get the blueprint, you understand the history of Memorial Stadium, that this was once the land of Municipal Stadium, which was an earth-built ballpark. Earth-built ballpark, and I just recently got archive footage, not archive footage, but archive photos from Memorial Stadium when it was being built in 1949. And you see that what they did was with Municipal Stadium, they dug out the entire earth, okay? Because Municipal Stadium was facing north, okay? Its facade was facing north, and the open end was south. And when they built Memorial Stadium, the baseball plate was facing south, facing north. So when I built this from the ground up, the same way they built it. And then one thing you'll get messed up, because the slants that they have in this game doesn't do it justice. The only close that you can get to the slants is with these bleachers, which unfortunately takes up a lot of memory. I got to see where this is going to go with the memory game. But one of the things that you have to do is when you add this upper deck on, you have to understand that this upper deck was an add-on. This upper deck was an upgraded add-on to what was a single-level football and baseball field from 1950 to 1953. And so when I built this yesterday, I had to build the whole entire thing the way it was. So when I added this thing on, I have to have the mentality of adding on to what is already the ballpark. So this is the 1954 version. I'm going to keep continuously building onto it and hopefully build onto it to where I get everything going. I got 89% right here. I'm playing dangerous now. I have about 10%, and I got to get this facade done. And I don't know what I'm going to have to do. I'm probably going to have to cut some stuff out and everything, and I hope and pray to God I don't have to, but we'll see what happens. But, you know, thank you all for the comments. Thank you all for the positive responses to this. But, yeah, I drove out to this plot of land about a month ago to gauge the topography and everything for it. And, yeah, this is where I'm at. This takes a lot of careful studying and a lot of symmetry. So this is where it's at. But we're going to see what I can get away with here. And I have another version just in case this one doesn't work. So, yeah, this is the 1954 opening day version, which is entirely incomplete due to the fact of them not being able to add any lighting and stuff. So stadiums back then are not the way they're built now. So, for example, if you were building like a ballpark in Minnesota or so, or the new ballparks that were then, you wouldn't exactly have people. Oh, well, thank you, Max. Well, I tell you one thing. Well, what really leads to a nicer model is understanding that there are no limitations in this game. So when you build this classic ballpark, and this is advice for anybody who wants to build one or is going to build one, before you build this thing, you got to come to a fork in the road, and you got to ask yourself, what's more important? Is it more important for me to fit everything within what was given to me? Or is it more important to fit what I want to see, which is more accurate, around what was given to me? Because I can't change any of this. I can't change anything behind this plate except for what's here. And so that's that. But what I can do is I can't be limited if I want to build what I want to build. So, you know, the shape of this stadium is so immaculate and so beautiful when you look at it. It's built in an oval. It's built in an oval. And that oval becomes a horseshoe. And then what you have on top of it is a semi horseshoe, which kind of looks like a curved bird, like flying down. And so altogether, you have this type of makeup of this. And this is what you get. So when you build this, it's possible to make. The only problem is what's limited is if you remove all of this, which is here, which is this ugly house-looking crap, you actually would have, I swear, man, I tell you, bro, if I was at 60% with this right here, the damage I could do, I tell you. But we'll see. We'll see what I can get away with. Let's see what I can get away with, because I'll be building this in real time. Memorial Stadium, 1954 facade.
Here are some results from the web.
All right, here we are going to go. Because it's going to get late before nobody... by the way, happy Thanksgiving to anybody who is in the United States who celebrates Thanksgiving. I hope you all enjoyed it with your family and friends. If you enjoyed it alone, I hope that you guys still ordered some good food for yourself. If you don't have turkey, that's okay. If you still ate, that's okay. You know, it's all good. So this is the opening day version that we got here. Yeah, the scoreboard out there. So I'm trying to get the facade going. I'm going to see what I can get away with here. Yeah, the big issue, Max, is that, like, I feel like they didn't build this stuff to be, like, I feel like they didn't, neighbors south of the border. Yeah, I feel like when they did this, they didn't intend for people to make facades. And like and me personally, like I don't really know what their game plan was or what their idea was or anything for this, because I stopped trying to figure them out a long time ago. And you know what? It made my life much happier. It's just I don't get them, bro. I don't get like anything that they do. This mode would have been so immaculate if they would have just, like, let people cook. Just let people cook, bro. It would have been immaculate. Just let people cook. It's all to it. Let people cook. All right. So... oh, let's see what we got going on here. That's the flag. It's a unique build. It's a fascinating stadium because when you look at ballparks, even in Major League Baseball, you would look at the fact of like the Major League Baseball, much like the NFL, started out multi-purpose facilities. Now, where the NFL, where football deviates from baseball, is that when you get to baseball's dimensions are often quirky, weird, whereas the only thing that remains the same is behind the outfield in regards to dimensions and regulations in regards to the diamond, but anything else is fair play. So you can have like short power alleys, short things, short fields. You can have wind come in and blow and all that type of stuff that necessarily wouldn't happen anywhere else. And so that's one of the aspects that I find that is very unique with ballparks. But one thing that is fascinating about Memorial Stadium is that, you know, and I'm not saying this because I'm biased, even though I do wholeheartedly love Memorial Stadium with a passion. But one of the things that's the most fascinating about this ballpark is that this is a ballpark that was built in a very unique period in history. When you look at ballparks and how they're built, you have two major periods. Okay, you have the jewel box era, which was built during the dead ball era, and kind of bled into the 60s and the 70s. And then what you have is the creation and the continuation of what is called the cookie cutter era. And that is what comes in between the 60s and the 70s, and some parts marinating in the 80s. And what Memorial Stadium represents is Memorial Stadium was a stadium that was built not during the 20s, not during the 40s, not during the 20s, not during the 30s, but during the 40s. You're dealing with a period of history that was built at a time where you did not have ballparks being built. And this is a amalgamation, a weird concoction of this entire thing where the ballparks that you are a part of now take on a different shape. It's very weird. You won't find that many ballparks that were built during this time period. You'll find a lot of ballparks that assimilated to this time period. But Memorial Stadium itself was built in 1949 and concluded in 1954. And so the architectural designs and the way it was structured and its shape and base was something never seen before. And so you have that. That's something that hasn't been done. So you have this ballpark that's built during this weird period. This weird period of time, and built in what was a neighborhood off of Waverly in northeast Baltimore, which, by the way, you would never hear of now. You know, the only closest that you would come to ballparks that were built that are still around like that is maybe Fenway Park, maybe Wrigley Field. And even then, those aren't necessarily built in neighborhoods. Those are built in small parts of a city. So you're never going to get this again. You're never going to get this type of intimacy. You're never going to get this type of thing because the game has changed. Like M&T Bank, Camden Yards. I mean, yeah, you have a couple of houses that live around there, but you're never going to have you're never going to have it where you're going to have people that, you know, live in a neighborhood and they can just walk down the street and they can just go to a stadium that's just right down the street. It's just never going to happen again. It's never going to happen. Not in this time period. Unless you're a billionaire and you want to recreate this thing, which I would do if I had $1 billion. I would buy a plot of land and I would build this thing. And I would open it up for, you know, if people wanted to come out and kids wanted to come out and stuff, and build it into a museum and stuff, because, you know, ultimately, them tearing down this ballpark didn't necessarily help that area in Baltimore, to be honest with you. You know, right, but not like neighborhoods and stuff like that. Or like your average people who live at, well, you know. All right, now, one thing I need to get right. All right, let's get this going. This is 1954. Okay, so this goes all the way out. Okay. Well, Camden Yards is one of the most pursued ballparks in baseball. I've met so many people that come from different parts of the world, different parts of the country, from basically the neighbors up north to the neighbors down south who come down here to check that ballpark out. And The Maryland Stadium Authority has done a really good job of keeping these owners in check to keep these ballparks fresh and not necessarily let their stuff go to waste and decay. Because ultimately, in my honest opinion, I feel like if, yes, they do. I feel like if, I ultimately feel like if the Maryland Stadium Authority existed when Memorial Stadium was built, when Memorial Stadium was existing, you probably wouldn't have had Camden Yards. The Maryland Stadium Authority ultimately came about because of the Colts leaving Baltimore. And when you had that little fiasco happen, that's when ultimately the crap started hitting the fan. And so in the mid-'80s, Memorial Stadium was starting to become dilapidated, and a lot of the investors and stuff, including management, wanted to basically go and build a new ballpark for the Orioles. And because the Orioles were threatening to leave at some point too. Like, it was just bound to happen. Like the same situation you got with the Oakland A's. That's where you got with that. So, right. So that's the issue that you got with that. Let's see what this looks like if I just take this out. I don't know, guys. What do you think? You think I can get away with that? You think I can get away with just a single decker like that? See, this is the thing that confused me about Memorial Stadium per se, is I feel like I can get away with this. Let's see what this looks like, because I got this saved. It's no biggie. What do you guys think? What looks more natural? Because I've always gone back and forth with this, and I'll be honest with you, like, I feel like this right here is more realistic to what Memorial Stadium kind of is. But I feel like I can get away with it. I can get away with it when it looks like this. Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this dual deck thing and just do it like this. Yeah, season's over with. The Texas Rangers won the World Series, and the Orioles at least won a division, won 101 games, the most in almost 40 some years. It's fine. When the Ravens came here, you invested in an owner who won you a couple of World Series, a couple of Super Bowls. So you have that, and then you had a better owner The only problem we got now is we got Peter Angelos, who's a crappy owner. John Angelos. I wish they would sell the team. They still haven't signed a lease. Baltimore can't strike gold with their owners. We either get a good baseball owner and a crappy football owner, or we get a good football owner and a crappy baseball owner. Like, the two shall never blend at the same time. But, it happened for the best, per se. What do you guys think? Do you think this looks better? You guys think this looks better? I mean, I'm not an insecure person asking for this, but it's like, I'm just saying, like, to me personally, I think this is a lot better. But the only problem I'm going to run into, the only issue I'm going to run into here, and this is where it's going to get a little poopy doopy, is the facade. The facade's gonna look a little poopy doopy. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. But we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. We'll get to it. We'll get there when we get there. All right. Okay. Now this right here wouldn't be an issue. This wouldn't be an issue if. So what I'm gonna have to do now, because this right here is a problem. Let's see what we can get away with here. When you get rid of that, now you got the dilemma. Now you got the dilemma where you know what? Okay, we'll figure it out. I always do. We'll figure it out. And we got 85 to spare right here. I'm trying to figure out what's really doing this because the thing about it is, to hell with it. Let's go. So, all right, discussions are for you guys. What you guys wish to talk about, what y'all want to rock and roll with. Choice is yours. The night is yours. Whatever you guys wish to discuss. It's been a minute since I've been here. So, whatever y'all like to rock and roll with, go ahead. So, let's see here what we got. So, if I can do it like this. Boy, how about them Cowboys game today? Detroit, yet again, laying another fruitful egg for everyone to see, including the whole masses. It's gonna have to produce at some point, man. Like, I don't know what to tell them. I don't feel like they're going to the Super Bowl, to be honest with you. When you when you have a fan base that has lost as much as they have, you tend to not know how to act when your team starts winning, which is a commonality that a lot of Yeah, it looks more ideal. The hell with it. Let's go. When you have a franchise base like that hasn't won in a long time, you tend to run the risk of not knowing how to act when your team wins. Me personally, like, I just feel like they are not going to. I think they're doing good. I think that they're. I think that they are doing good per se, but yeah, let's bring it up here. But I think, like, you know, maybe they're overachieving a little bit. Okay, let's get rid of this. Oh boy, boy. Okay, no, see, you know, it's over. I think that my love is gone. This might just work. Because what gets me tripped up is if you don't use the perspective of the person who's sitting in a stadium, like, you tend to forget that, like, this is a large stadium compared to the person's size. So you make things bigger than what they actually need to be. And that's where you screw up. You know. But we're going to do this right. Get it right, get it tight. I just really wish that, like, this thing wouldn't be a problem, but I think I have a way to solve it. Boy, that facade's gonna be a trip. Because you can't pull it back all the way. Pull it back all the way, this is what you're gonna get. And that is just not right at all. This Memorial Stadium's facade, upper deck didn't go back that far. But let's see what. I just need to stop overthinking it. Just do it. Stop overthinking it. That's all to it. On the Casio. It's all up in your head now. Don't think that. Is anybody even in here? I feel like I'm talking to myself. Okay. Oh man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there's 6 slants. 2, 3, 4. What's this? Start up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll have to do one smaller. You just can't win in this game. Like, you can't. Like, when you build something that you want, or you build something that you have no choice but to survive in. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, you like, you better bring your A game, and you better be ready to be disappointed. Like, wholeheartedly in this thing. 2, That's too thin. Anybody here buying Pokemans cookies? Nobody? Okay. I feel like you might have to take some artistic license a little bit with this. One, two, three. Shit. One, two, three, four, five, six. Bro, it don't look right. It looks like it's more there than what it is. I don't know how I feel about that, Captain. But if I do it like this, this is why learning shapes in kindergarten pays off, kiddies. You think the guy who wanted to see gameplay here like 8 months ago is still caring to see gameplay? Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Pills are good. I know I made a rule earlier this year that said that I wasn't going to redo these, but it's a dead month. It's a dead season now. Baseball season's over with. I still got some ballparks I would like to create before this is all said and done. But I'm going to see what I can get away with, what I can do. Okay. Up in your head now. Don't think that my love's gone. It's all up in your head now. Oh God. Praying to get away with this. You guys have been a part of my Facebook, and not my Facebook, but my YouTube, know what I'm talking about with this. This is a bit of a show. Alright, let's go now. Oh no, your dreams are gone, and you're just holding on. Oh God, what we got going on here? Okay. I'm just gonna do it like that. I don't know. Oh, damn it. Shot straight up to 90. All right, give me 1 second, guys. Well, as you guys see, this is one of the run-ins you run into. This is why it's humanly impossible to do what you envision in this game because of the limitations that are just downright illogical. But we're back at 91%, and now I have learned my limitations, what I can do, what I can't do. So, yeah, there we go. This facade is going to be immensely difficult. And the reason being is because, yeah, it's going to be immensely difficult. And the reason being is because the bottom portion kicks out. So let's see here. If we eliminate this, still got that problem. Let's remove this. Yeah, that's still... Yeah. It's a bit of a spicy meatball today. It can still be done because the best part about this is that you don't look outside and you so let's see, we build it up like this. So you would have to extend outward. Wow. Ooh, wow. Let's see what this looks like. I mean, this is some Minecraft level crap right here. Yeah, this is why. Yeah, this is where you meet the difficulty. This is where the fork in the road comes to play. Because